Hey, what's up, guys? I wanted to fulfill a promise. I said I would talk about the diversity of Mexico and the United States, so here we go. So something I've always found interesting is if you look at the southwest of the United States, it's kind of like deserty, cowboyish kind of country, same with Texas. And if you look at the north of Mexico, it's very, very similar. Desert, cowboys, so those groups kind of have more in common than, let's say, Washington, the state of Washington, which is more green, right? Oregon, Northern California, and the bottom of Mexico, let's say like Oaxaca, or even a place like Veracruz, places that are very tropical. And the reason is because of geography. So rain, mountains, and it's always interesting to think of culture in terms of geography because it takes out the nationalism, because it's always changing. And one of the things I recently saw that reminded me of this, and I recommend checking it out, is PBS has a special on civilizations. And I'm used to civilizations kind of, starting with the Indus Valley, Middle East, that kind of thing. And it's cool, talking about Egypt later. But what this did is it started talking about the Americas. And it started talking about war being a way that civilizations grow. I think it called it creative destruction. But that aside, what I wanted to mention is we get so caught up in being Americans or being Mexicans, and sometimes if we're very, very into being Americans, we might identify with New Englanders or the Founding Fathers. And a lot of people I know who are really, really into being like Latinx, especially from Mexico, they get caught up in the Aztecs and identifying with the Aztecs. Nothing wrong with that. It's awesome. But taking a step back and going back to this PBS documentary, they're talking about people from Teotihuacan, right? They're talking about the indigenous culture, the Zapotec culture in Oaxaca. And there's, throughout Mexico and America, there are all these native cultures, very diverse, very different languages, different cultures, that are worth remembering because that's us. And in the future, who knows what's going to happen 2,000 years from now. But if you identify as American, if you identify as Mexican, you're going to want people to remember the things that you did and the things that you valued, no matter how things turn out, right? Because the map is always changing. And I love where I live. I love my country. But I also acknowledge that change is constant. So just keep in mind that geography has a lot to do with culture. We have things in common with each other that isn't always normally thought of. For example, the south of the United States and the north of Mexico. And it's our responsibility, or hopefully your passion or interest, to remember who we are, think about where we're going, and just appreciate that moment. Hopefully you can check out that documentary and just be happy today, because it's a good day. And we all came from somewhere, and we're all going somewhere, so let's try to appreciate the past and leave whatever we have to the future better than we found it. All right, bye guys.